some will use the other tub, maybe they're a little closer over there. What are you all doing? A little of both, or what?
I think everybody usually prefers this one because it's nicer.
Okay, and here's one thing, and this has nothing to do with whether one tub is better than the other as far as features or a chair versus a lift. But this tub has some infection control features to it that I want to go over. And if you had either a resident that said, I kind of like that tub, or if you have one of you all that for whatever reason, you know, might prefer that one, or for a resident, and maybe you don't know everything about this one. So this tub, when you have the jets on, it has a germicidal UV light system that purifies the water during the bath. So essentially what that's doing is creating a cleaner bath environment for the resident. So our residents, fortunately or unfortunately, can get our bath water dirty. Okay, they're incontinent, they have some dirt and oils on their body, and that bacteria can grow in our warm bath environment. So the germicidal UV light system purifies the bath water during the bath, so that's a good thing for the resident. And I get some letters from other facilities that say our infections are down, our UTIs are down, so that's a good thing. So I wanted you all to know that. Okay, and if you all have used the tub, you're familiar with, I've got to turn the reservoir on. This is my mixing valve to mix my water temperature. So this can take 5 or 6 or 7 minutes of fill time, then now I can go get the resident. Okay, and here's my chair system. I've got to open up my door. Now if I'm doing my transfers out in the room, just like with a lift, I'm going to lock my wheels on this. So anytime I'm transferring a resident into the chair out here or the chair into the tub, once I get the chair in, I'm going to lock the wheels. So that's one of the safety features, locking the wheels. Okay, then I can do my transfers. Okay, once the resident is in, then this little pin that's sticking up is going to go into this receiver at the end of the tub, and that receiver helps to position it so it locks itself into this little hole. So that's another safety little thing, is that chair is going to dock and latch itself into the tub. And it's pretty easy. And I just positively push it to the tub, make sure it doesn't come out, and then again I'm locking the wheels. And I know it's there to stay. I can also hear the reservoir is starting to shut off, so I know it's ready for a resident. And then on this side of the chair, I've got my release lever. I'm going to lock the chair in, or cup up the chair in, and then I can move my base of the chair out of the way. Like that. The door is just push it closed and then shut it. Okay? And now I'm ready to fill the tub. So I've got to close my drain. This way is open, that way is closed. And you're in control of the water. So you can start it slow. Fill your water temperature. Is it too hot? Is it too cold? I do have a temperature gauge, but always just double check it. I actually filled that pretty warm. But I would always get into that habit of filling my water. In case the residents complaining, we want to know, is it too hot, is it too cold, I can stop it right now, or do I go ahead and continue to bring it in faster and faster until it, fills it up. This is the last bath of the day, I shut the water supply off. But if you have more baths, just leave that on, and then when you get the water levels, whatever water level you want, you close the handle. It's filling for the next bath, so it's always that one step ahead of you. But if it is the last bath, turn that off, let all the water drain out, okay? And that way you don't have a closed reservoir of of tub water waiting for you. As soon as the water's above the chest, we can turn it on, so I'm just waiting for that. Like that. Hey, any questions on how I've done any of that stuff? Any of the controls so far? The reservoir is still draining itself out, so depending on how big the resident is, it might be here to here. But if you need more water, you just leave the reservoir fill knob on and it will continue to fill through it until you have whatever water level you want. And there that's empty there. Now if I had a resident in, it'd obviously be higher. Okay? Now I'm going to shut this off for just a second. So with this bathtub, we have the technologies we kind of talked about. So during the bath and the jets are on, our germicidal UV light system is in there working, and it's creating this cleaner and cleaner bath environment. It's basically destroying the DNA in microorganisms, so that's a good thing. An organism that their DNA is destroyed, they can't grow and thrive and replicate, so that's a good thing. If you have a resident that just wants to sit in the bath without the jets on, then the UV does not work. So after that bath, I have to clean it and I have to disinfect it, for sure. We have shown with the UV light, because we're always killing the bacteria, I don't have to disinfect after every single bath unless you as a staff say to do that. Maybe you do it on all of them, or maybe you have a resident that is sick or has a foot bug or whatever that you say on these residents, we will clean and disinfect. But we have shown that because we're constantly killing that bacteria during the bath, you only have to clean it after every bath, which the cleaners get rid of all of the oils and ointments and the creams and the crud and the buildup. So that's what cleaners do, okay? So you have a couple of minutes of drain time. So I always teach to think ahead a little bit that maybe I have been shampooing their hair. And before I start to rinse them, maybe I go ahead and get the drain going, and I'm keeping them kind of occupied, keeping the water, keeping them warm. But I've got a couple minutes of drain time before I can get the resident out, get the chair back in, and then clean and disinfect. So that's what we'll do next. Okay, any questions about that? Anything like that so far?
When you turn the reservoir on, does it stop when it's full?
It does. So there's a float valve in it, just almost like a toilet with a float valve in it.
Because ours, water runs out that pipe there when it's filling.
The water runs out of this?
Yeah.
Okay, so the slide gate, I didn't see it, so the slide gate is allowing some water to leak out, is what you're saying? Yeah.
Because it can be shut all the way.
Okay.
And that's on when it gets
Okay.
full, it starts leaking.
That happens over time because of hard water. What you have is a plastic slide gate valve, it's a knife valve with O-rings on it. So those O-rings will dry out over time and they'll just start to drip a little bit. So it's better to drip in a tub than out on the floor, so that's a good thing. So years ago, it was out on the side and it'd be dripping out here, so we corrected that, but yes. So notate that with maintenance or with Nathan, and when it gets to be a real issue, they can fix it, they can have us come out and fix it, but yes. Thank
So
you.
that's just the overlay, they can replace that.
Well, you gotta get the whole thing off, so if you're gonna do that, you just want to replace the $40 whole unit.
Yeah.
Because yes, there's O-rings, but here where the rod goes in and out, there's an O-ring set there too. So if we replace this, 2 months later, this one could leak, so, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get the resin out, put the chair back in, okay? So here is how we clean and disinfect it. Pretty simple. The videos all show to close the drain, so I'll do it like the video shows. So close the drain. We're going to point this to cleaner, turn the water on, and then after a little bit, excuse me, I gotta have the jet on. After about 7 or 8 or so seconds, or especially if you see suds coming out of the jets, you want to go straight up down to rinse. Because you put enough cleaner in, and I see my cleaner, it's going to fill up a little bit. Now I'm just going to shut off the system. Now, you can, on the cleaner only, leave the drain open and just continuously run it. The main thing is, the reason they do this is the disinfectants all say a 10-minute wet time. And I want everybody to hear that, a 10-minute wet time. So that's why they say close the drain, and I don't have that pump motor running for 10 minutes. Okay? The cleaning step, you want to leave it open and just run it through, it's fine. I've done it that way for 14 years. With the new tub, they decided to be consistent with both steps, close the drain. So that's why they do that. But I have sort of my pail of cleaner and water, and I'm going to scrub the tub down, the side, the door, the rails, my chair. Everything on the tub, chair, everything. And then when I have everything scrubbed down really good, I'm going to drain it. As soon as all the suds are out, I'm going to turn the water back on with the drain open on rinse and my jets on, because I want that rinse water to rinse everything out. The pump motor, the piping, and all that. So it'll take a good 2 or 3 minutes, maybe, until you see clear water coming out of the jets, and that's when you know it's done. And you can rinse it all down with the shower wand. I have to clean this tub after every single bath, because the cleaners get rid of all that buildup of whatever's in the tub. So I can't have that buildup over time, because then the UV lights will never be able to get all the bacteria that's now covered up by the oils and ointments and creams and stuff like that. So that's why cleaners are important. Okay? And only use the Apollo products. I wanted to make sure that is heard on this. The Apollo products will keep this stuff cleaner than anything else on the market. Okay? I still see suds coming out of the jet, so just let it go. With the motor on and I have water in the motor, you're not going to harm the motor. Just let it go. Clean up your room, clean up your towels. Now, what will happen sometimes, I put a lot more cleaner in to start it because I forgot to turn the jets on. So I put more cleaner in than what I would normally do. So what happens with that? It takes longer to rinse it out because there's so much cleaner in it. So when you turn it to cleaner and turn the jets on, usually after about 8 or so seconds, you'll have enough product that you go straight up down to rinse. Okay? And then it will take 5 minutes to rinse it all out. You see, there's still some suds in there. So just let it continue to rinse out. But if you guys are struggling with how long it takes to rinse it out, it's a product of how much I'm putting in just to get started. I probably had 12 or 13 or 14 seconds within there before I realized what I was doing wrong there. So that's my fault. Okay, water is just almost clean now. I would let it go for another minute or so until I'm sure it's clear water, but here I'm going to disinfect it, so it's okay right now. I'm going to let that drain out. I'll rinse out the final amount, to disinfect it this time. So close the drain, point this to disinfect, turn this on, turn my jets on this time, and then after that 7 or 8 seconds or so, I'm gonna go straight up down to rinse. And we'll fill up the bottom again with about that much of product. And the disinfectants all say, keep it wet for 10 minutes. So I can cover everything and keep it wet for 10 minutes. Okay, so I have it all off. Okay, I'm going to do a step I didn't do with the cleaner, but it's important to do this. And you may not have to do it after every single bath, but underneath of a chair you can get a buildup. So I would say, you know, if you're giving all the baths, maybe at least once a day, I would at least pull this off, clean underneath. If you see a buildup that's happening, do it a couple times a day. Okay? When I checked it today, there's basically nothing on this. The chair looks brand new. So you guys have done a great job of keeping this clean. And I told the last crew. So whatever you're doing is phenomenal. Okay? Good job.
We do that on second shift, because we get the last pass.
Okay. You guys are doing good. I see no buildup at all. So pat yourself on the back. You guys are doing great. So you've watched the clock. After 4 or 5 or 6 minutes, just make sure it's not drying up. If it is, reapply the disinfectant. After 10 minutes, drain it all out. I'm going to get that water started, make sure it's all drained out here. Turn my jets on. And the disinfectants all take longer to rinse out than the cleaner. So if the cleaner takes you 3 minutes, this will probably take you 5 minutes. And it's okay. It's just stronger, so just keep that in mind. Okay, any questions about the cleaning and disinfecting or the operation of the tub? Okay, I would encourage, if you still have some residents that, you know, resist the tub a little bit, encourage, get them used to it. A tub bath of any time feels good. A tub bath with a clean bath environment is a really good thing. I would encourage, if you have some residents that just resist it, I would try and get them used to it if I could. Okay? Okay, we're done. Thank you all.